Today we had two meetings today in our office. One meeting was helping one of our friends get business credit, understand credit, and learning exactly what it takes to get that business credit established. We work with an affiliate that helps us obtain business credit. So we try to help some of our people who have businesses who don't have business credit already, get them in line so that they can help with the funding of their business. So we had that meeting this morning, and then we had a second meeting. And I think one of the interesting topics that we had on our second meeting was basically where we are today and where do we see ourselves in the next year. And in all honesty, Antonio and I are the same in some areas but different at the same time, if that makes sense. Um, he sees the plan being a little different than I see it. So we're basically trying to iron out what does that plan look like together. And I'm also listening. I do a lot of driving. Um, Usually my driving commute in the morning is about 45 minutes and 45 minutes going home. So I try to listen to audiobooks during that time. My kids absolutely hate it, all right? But I try to listen to audiobooks during that time just to get my mind constantly thinking and brainstorming on different things just to make our business better, to make our lives better, just to be better as a business owner, as a parent, as a boss, all of those different things. So I do that in the morning pretty much faithfully. So the book I'm reading right now is The Dysfunctions of a Team. So in that book, it talked about conflict and how conflict with your team is actually a good thing because it helps you kind of battle out, not in a negative battle, but hash out and come to a pretty good solution. So that's kind of something that Tony and I are, I'm going to say, hashing out when it comes to where do we go from this direction. Do we keep going in the direction that we're in? Do we slow it down to maybe scale up in the next 6 months? Kind of what does it look like for us? And one of the things we talked about in the meeting, which I think is very important, is systems. I know you guys hear it all the time, systems, systems, systems. And I'm a firm believer of systems, but I also get bored sometimes using the same systems. And I know my team does too, which is why it's important to have those systems, because once you're bored, and I found out from a couple of my workers that when you're bored sometimes you basically forget to you forget to do the systems that are implemented, and you miss steps. I've seen plenty of times where I go back with my team and I do an audit and see that, okay, well, these weren't uploaded, this wasn't done, and it's because we get so used to the rhythm and thinking, well, I don't need that checkbox, I don't need to do that checklist thing anymore because I have it all in my head and it's right here. But in actual honesty, we forget to go do some things because we're just going with the moment, if that makes sense. Well, in the meeting we talked about that the systems that you use, and I'm going to use 10 for example, the systems that you use in your business to buy and rehab 10 properties a year is not going to be the same system you use, not all the time, but most of the time. It's not going to be the same system you used at 50 properties. The more you work, the more you do, the different systems that are going to take place in your business. So as you scale, your systems should be scaling too. You should be getting bigger and better systems that pertain and make things easier for you and your team as you grow. And along with systems comes people. The more people you're going to need. I know when Antonio and I were doing 5 houses a year, it was just us. We didn't need anyone. But as we grow, we need more people. We need people for marketing. We need people for social media. We need people for acquisitions. Um, we need people for the phones, answering the phone calls, doing the intake. We need people for the lease purchase side of the business. Like, there's so many people that you start to need the more you grow and the more you expand. So, long story short, conflict is good. Make sure that you're hashing out and having that good conflict. Make sure that you remember to always scale and let your scaling grow with your business. Remember that you're not going to use that same system that you started off with. At one point, Google Sheets was everything we needed. But at some point, you need a CRM. You need to be able to do automation. You need autoresponders. You may need a funnel. You need different things. You may need geo-targeting. So many different things you may need. Geofencing, retargeting. You're going to need those things. So make sure that for your business to grow, you're growing and you're growing your business at the same time. Don't shut down. It's all a process. Make it happen. Make it work.